to
Cooking with Calculus! I'm Aleena.
I'm Angie.
And I'm Stephanie.
And today we're going to be cooking brownies!
Woo!
Double chocolate! So we have all of our ingredients, but the box doesn't tell us the amount we need. They just give us calculus equations. So how many eggs do we need?
I don't know.
Pause. This is how you work it out. Using the average value theorem of 0 to 1, and the formula is 1 over b minus a. Let's plug in b and a, which would be 1 over 1 minus 0, and that would be 1. And we multiply that with the integral of 0 to 1 of 1 dx, and the antiderivative of 1 is just x. So let's plug in 1 and 0 to x. So 1 times 1 minus 0, and that would be 1. And so that means we would need 1 egg.
So we only need 1 egg.
That is so exhausting, but we gotta do what we gotta do to educate our viewers.
Okay. What's our next ingredient?
It says that we need vegetable oil, but we don't know how many amount. Instead, we have this equation.
Pause. So we're given this equation. Let's first take the antiderivative of x squared, which is x cubed over 3. Now let's plug in 1, and that gives us 1/3. Now if we plug in 0, that would just be 0. So 1/3 minus 0 is 1/3.
Oh, so we only need 1/3 of vegetable oil.
Awesome. Okay, it says that the next ingredient is water. But how do we solve for this?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Pause. Okay, so if we look at this limit, x approaches infinity, and as you can see, the largest exponents are equal, so we're going to look at the coefficients, and that'd be 1 over 4. So we need 1/4 cup of water.
Okay, 1/4 of water. That's all we need.
Oh, that was easy.
Yeah.
Okay, the last ingredient that we need is brownie mix, but how much brownie mix do we need?
Pause. This is how you solve this derivative. So we'll be solving for the derivative of x cubed over 3 plus 3x while x equals 15. So the derivative of x cubed over 3 is 3x squared over 3 plus the derivative of 3x, which is 3. And let's plug in x as 15. So if we plug in 15 to x squared, that would be 225 plus 3. And the answer would be 228 grams.
Oh, so it's only 528 grams.
So just the box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brownie points to you.
Oh, honey. So now that we're done mixing all the ingredients together, we have to put in this pan. But
It's only 12 by 8. Do you think we can fit this mix into that pan? Well, at least we have this equation.
Pause. So this is how you solve this equation. So to figure out the volume of the pan size, we're going to do that using cross sections. So as you can see, the length equals 8 and the width is 1/4 of the length. So the volume equals the integral of 0 to 12, length times width dx. And so we're going to alter that by plugging in the length and the width. So v would equal 1/4 times the integral of 0 to 12 times 8 squared dx. And so first off, we're going to figure out what 8 squared is. So that would be 64. And then we're going to find the antiderivative of 64, which would just be 64x. And now let's plug in the upper bound and the lower bound. So 1/4 times 64 times 12, which is 768. And 768. And make sure you multiply that to 1 over 4. So 768 over 4 would be 192 inches cubed, and that would be the size of the pan.
So the volume of the pan is 192.
Inches squared, yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely gonna fit, right?
Totally.
Okay.
So fantastic.
Anyways, help me scrape this.
Okay. So now we're done with our brownie mix, but then how many degrees does it take to cook it?
Well, the box says the temperature should be this.
Pause. So this would be how you solve the equation. We'll be solving for this equation to find out the temperature, and to do that we're going to use the higher order derivative, which is the fourth derivative, and the first derivative of 10x to the fourth plus 85 over 24 x to the fourth is 40x cubed plus 85 over 6 x cubed. And the second derivative is 120x squared plus 85 over 2 x squared. And the third derivative would be 240x plus 85x. And the fourth derivative would just be 240 plus 85. And that would give you 325 degrees Fahrenheit.
What time should we set it to?
Does it say on the box?
Oh yeah, right here.
Oh. Pause. Okay, as we can see here, we're given another limit as x approaches infinity. And as the largest exponents are equal, we're going to take the coefficients, which is 400 over 10. And 400 over 10 is 40. So we have to bake the brownies for 40 minutes.
Oh, 40 minutes. Pushing it to the limit.
I'm supposed to go on a diet though. Do you know how many calories it is?
No, but they gave me this equation.
Pause. This is how you work this equation out. So we're going to be taking the integral to find out how many calories are in the brownies. So first let's take the antiderivative of 60, which is just 60x, and the antiderivative of 48 over 5x, which is 48 over 5x squared over 2 and dx. And now we are going to plug in the interval, which is from 0 to 5. So let's plug in 5 to 60 times 5 minus 48 5 squared over 10. So let's solve for that now. 300 minus 48 times 25 over 10 minus 0. And so it would end up being 300 minus 120 just 120 and that would be 180 calories.
There's 180.
180? How many grams of sugar is that?
Let's find out.
Pause. So now let's solve for this equation. Okay, so we're going to be using the higher order derivative to solve for how many grams of sugar is inside the brownie mix. So let's first take the first derivative of the equation we're given. So that would be 32x cubed over 12 plus 3x squared over 6 plus 14x over 2. And now let's take the second derivative. It would be 96x squared over 12 plus 6x over 6 plus 14 over 2. Now next, the third derivative, which is 192x over 12 plus 6 over 6 plus 0, since 14 over 2 is a constant. And the fourth derivative would be 192 over 12 plus 0 and plus 0, since they were both constants. And 192 divided by 12 would be 16. So we have 16 grams of sugar inside the brownies.
So 16 grams of sugar?
Yeah, not bad.
That's a lot.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you just take a little piece of it, it shouldn't be that much.
Really? Like, how many servings are there anyways?
Oh, well, the box says... Oh.
Pause. So let's find the derivative of x squared. The derivative of x squared is just 2x, and x equals 8. Plug in 8, which would just be 16. So it yields 16 brownies.
16 brownies, so if I eat one, that's not too bad, right?
You're good, you're good.
Okay, cool. Is it done yet? No. So, this is the final product.
Woo! You should eat this with ice cream, and don't thank us, thank
Calculus!
Specifically Miss Vu's class.
Yeah.
And so
Thanks
thanks
for
for